conflict. So the question that really comes up when it comes to this discussion is that when one examines the narrations, they'll find, interestingly enough, that there are narrations which praise poverty and there are narrations which condemn poverty. And what I want to examine in the second sermon is that what is the relationship between these narrations and what lessons can we take from them? Now, when we come to the first level, from the first level we find that there is a somewhat praise of poverty within the narrations as well. You know, the word for poverty is the word faqr. And the person who is in need is called a faqir in the Arabic language. You know, when we look in the Quran, all of mankind has been described as being in a state of poverty. And it has been described with this word faqir. When Allah says, Ya ayyuhan nas, antumul fuqara'u ilallah. That, O mankind, you stand in a state of need before Allah. Wallahu wal ghaniyul hamid. And in reality, Allah is the one who is self-sufficient and He is the one who is worthy of praise. You see, at the first level, when we look at the Quran and the Hadith, the reason poverty is being praised over here is that it is referring to existential poverty and neediness before Allah. This is the first point. That, O mankind, that no matter what circumstance you are in within your life, you will always stand in need of Allah. And in that sense, you will always be a faqir before Allah. You will be in a state of poverty before Allah, the first point. The second point is that when these narrations, they praise poverty, they are praising zuhd and asceticism. Now, what zuhd means is that, oh human being, you can acquire wealth, you can use your faculties to be successful within this world. But there is a difference between success and being attached towards it. And in that regard, you find that the narrations, they show that true spiritual wealth is when a person is upon the path of spirituality and on the path of godliness. You know, there's an anecdote from the time of Bahlul and Harun al-Rashid. One day, Bahlul, he takes a coin, he gives it to Harun al-Rashid. Now imagine you have the caliph of the time, an individual of immense wealth. It's like in today's world, somebody going and giving $1 to Warren Buffett or somebody who's extremely wealthy. Harun al-Rashid says to Bahlul that, why did you just give me this coin? Bahlul says that I had made a vow that if Allah accepted a particular dua of mine, I would give this coin to a poor person. And in reality, I did not find anyone who was poorer than you. You know what this anecdote, it goes to show, is that true wealth in the eyes of Bahlul over here was that spiritual status of that individual. So he gives that coin towards Harun al-Rashid. But now at the second level, you find that at the first level, when the narrations, they praise poverty, it is existential poverty before Allah. At the second level, it is what? It is encouraging zuhd and asceticism. But at the second level, when we look at this, we find that there are narrations that condemn poverty. And over here, this brings up the discussion of what our communal responsibility is. You know, Amir al-Mu'mineen, he says to Muhammad al-Hanafiya in a piece of advice, is that he says, "O my son Muhammad, verily poverty, it clouds the judgment of an individual and it affects the deen of an individual." You know, there are many individuals when they have nothing in front of them, when they're in a state of need, when they have to put food on the table, they're willing to make compromise after compromise. Their judgment is affected over there. So what is the solution that Islam has given? You find when you look in the Quran speaks to mankind as a community as a whole. You see, if God had given everyone the same amount of wealth, you find the world would not be able to function in the way that it functions. If everyone is making the same amount, there are many jobs that people, they wouldn't want to do. But those jobs are necessary for the prolonging of humanity. So what Allah did is that He says, I am giving this earth enough capacity for sustenance. But I am also giving you, O mankind, free will. And out of that free will, it is upon the community to support one another. Those who have more support those who are less fortunate. And the reward of those who are able to do that, the Quran, it says, الَّذِينَ يُنْفِقُونَ أَمْوَالَهُمْ بِاللَّيْلِ وَالنَّهَارِ سِرًّا وَعَلَانِيَةً is وَلَهُمْ أَجْرٌ عِنْدَ رَبِّهِمْ. Those individuals who give in the day and the night, openly, secretly, the Quran doesn't directly describe their reward. It says that their reward is with Allah.